Testing TDS.
Test.
Test.
Og LOE.
Oh no, Im shadow banned?
TTS. No bonk you ain't.
ONVM1.
Testing.
Yay my voice. Hihihihi.
TTS Forever.
Testing TTS.
The pixel models could be improved.
Also, it's actually quite funny how Ivory said he was going to start streaming almost daily and then he just disappeared.
Yes. You remember that?
Just proved out of existence.
Hello. That's because I realized, wait, if I don't change the channel fast, eventually the views will decrease, and I don't want the channel to suffer a slow death. So I thought to myself, hey, what if I learn to animate? It's not that hard, right? It's not that hard. And thus I spent 2 weeks learning to animate. I was telling myself, hey, any day now, but anyway, now I know how to animate, and I know how to make games. Let me show you. Because today, I'm going to work on more of the logic of my game. And as you can see here, Oh my god, is it still going? Okay, ends here. As you can see here, there's a lot of things here. Like a whole lot. Here, as you can see, is the game logic. That's where the game state of each turn is stored. It starts with the turn start, and then you have the movement phase, and the action phase, and then the end phase. Let me do end phase. As you can see right here. And the thing is, I also had to learn how to make character models. As you can see, there's a Steve chilling right here. You may be asking yourself, hey, how hard is it to make a character model? The answer is not that hard. But I had to learn to use substance painting. I had to learn to use a lot of software to be able to do these characters. Because as you can see, there's a fair amount of detail on them. There's dirt, there's grime, there's a shirt, there's even the buttons. And in some of them, you can even see the stitches of their clothing. Right there, that's actually just a normal map. I had to make, oh god damn it. I had to make using substance painting. Why is that not working? Minesweeper, yes, Minesweeper. Will it run in a 1070? The answer is most likely yes. Most likely yes. Disclaimer, the game will lag during the stream. It's because I'm streaming, and because when you have the blueprints menu open, the FPS changes by about 90%. But the thing is, my game is just one room, and I will optimize a lot of stuff. Right now, all the textures are actually 4K or 2K. I do plan on reducing the size of the textures or making them dynamic, and I do plan on making a lot of optimization for the whole this whole section right here, for example. I know I can optimize a lot of things. And this whole section as well. Especially because the characters, they are at lot 0 value. What is lot 0? Lot 0 means their textures and the complexity of the model is at 100%. You should not run a game at lot 0. Lot 0 is the complexity that you see in the game when the character is close to you. But guess what? Sometimes the character will be far away. That's why I'm making a lot 1 and lot 2. I don't have much time left. This means I can't spend Minesweeper all day. Oh no. Oh no. You know what? Maybe I should code Minesweeper and add this to the game. Maybe, just maybe, coding Minesweeper is not that hard. I don't know. Just maybe it's not that hard. Wait.
Lot is
Are you
probably
going to
good
lose?
ID.
Are you going to
Are
use
you
lot?
gonna use LOD?
At Minesweeper,
Yeah.
but it's rigged.
About LOD, I don't know if I need LOD for the characters. Because I can also use, as you can see, it's really complex, the characters. Each character is about 70,000 faces. It's less than the default Unreal model, which is good. Because that means that my characters are less complex than lot 0 default Unreal models. And I can use Nanite for the characters. It is an option. And if the Nanite works well on GPUs, old GPUs, I do have an old GPU right now. I have a 1650. If the game runs well in a 1650, using Nanite instead of LOD, I will just use LOD. As you can see, the wall just decimates itself when we are a little far away from it. And everything as a whole just disappears. That's the beauty of LOD when it works. Had LOD, they will make gameplay with glasses more realistic. What do you mean by glasses?
That you always lose.
Will
What's
the game
LOD?
run with no dedicated
LOT
GPU
stands
though?
for level of detail.
You only have 20 more minutes of Minesweeper.
I see.
Okay. Will there be a corpse pit? No. I'm going to make a corpse room. Let me show. About working without GPU. It may be possible. I do have a CPU with a dedicated GPU, so it's a UPU? I don't know. I do have a CPU that can run games. I can try it out. maybe it can run well if we decimate all the textures by a whole lot. It's a really hard maybe. It's like, technically it is possible, maybe. Anyway, as you can see right here, I was working on the stairs that lead you to the basement, to the outside of the basement. APU, yes, I do have a CPU with a APU. And guess what? This entire section is really hard to make. How do you make a wall, like concrete wall, that looks realistic? Because right now, as you can see, the wall doesn't just start and end. You have some kind of smoothness to it, right? That's because I'm using Mesh Blend, which is a plugin to Unreal Engine, and I just love how it looks. I even managed to add holes to the walls, as you can see right here. Each wall has holes, here and there, and I do think it looks well. I'm trying to get inside the wall, so we can see that it is actually 3D. I mean, it's hard. It is actually 3D. Wait, you have an APU? I had no idea. I have both GPU and APU. What kind of game is this? It's a card game. Let's run it. Let's press run. E. As you can see, it is loading the cards. Survive. And loaded. I do have to work a little bit on the lights right here, because there's a little bit of too much shyness to the card. But as you can see, we have the cards, we can select the cards, and we can play the cards. Yes, under development, it is a reference. It is also a reference to me using Blender, because right here, this is Blender. So right now, to move turns, I have to press E. Wait, is it? Wait, I don't think it's E. Oh no, wait, I just broke it. I pressed the wrong keys. It's Q. Don't worry about that. These are the settings for the debug of the game. Game deving is hard, it is. I had to learn about 20 programs to be able to make the models. So, yes, Q changes the turn. As you can see, most cards don't really work right now. In today's stream, we're going to work on how the cards work. So right now, the only card that works is Breakneck Speed. When the card is in the slot 3, it allows you to draw 2 more cards. I mean, 1 extra card, so 2 in total. However, it means that also the opponent draws 1 extra card. Let's read this together right now, okay? Breakneck Speed. Continuous card. During the draw phase only, each player draws 1 extra card. I hope this is clear. I made a lot of testing to make sure the cards would be easy to understand. Now, if I press Q, the cards move. It is still not the slot 3. Now it's slot 3. The next time the turn changes, we're going to draw 2 cards instead of 1. And yeah, it works. Now we have the Matter and Delete the Sun. Delete the Sun! This looks unreal. It is unreal. I'm not using Lumen. I absolutely hate Lumen. I draw Pot of Greed, which allows me to draw 2 additional cards from my deck. This is like Pot of Greed. Now, why don't I use Lumen? And why you should never ever, no, look at me. Look at me in the eyes. If you ever make a game, I need you to promise something to me. Never, ever use Lumen. And I will show you why. As you can see, everything looks great. Everything looks nice. Everything is in a good lighting. And everything is actually decent. There's nothing breaking. And the thing is, this guy right here, Military Steve, he's under the stairs. He's in the dark. If you were to lose Lumen, all characters that are in the dark will look extremely dark. Let me show you. Lumen. Where is Lumen? Lumen. Right here. I'm using None. Lumen right now is gonna look weird. Why is it looking weird? Because we have a lot of lights to imitate Lumen. So if I turn them off, and if we turn off Cube, so Cube Map, This is what Lumen looks like, right? Extremely dark, and it's hard, it's really tricky to be able to make things look good and nice. Now this guy right here, he's extremely dark. If I turn off skylight, it's even worse. Because I'm using a skylight to actually make the light from the sky bleed to the basement. And this room right here, it's just dark, completely dark. And you may sort of say something like, hey, you're using... It looks good though. Yes, I do plan to use the dark atmosphere for some boss battles. Because it does look good in combat, right here. I like how it looks. Sky blades, yes, the sky can bleed. The thing is, some of you may say, hey, you're using Lumen wrong. You're supposed to add more light. You're supposed to use skylight. Wait, is this screen lagging? I think the screen is lagging. Okay, let me know. If the string is lagging, let me know, alright? Okay, anyway, about the Lumen. If the string is lagging, it's because I'm using Unreal, which is Unreal. String is lagging, yeah. Oh no. Oh no. The string is lagging. The string may be lagging because Unreal using the entire bandwidth of my GPU. So, get real. I don't know how. I don't know how. I may be forced to fix this later on. Maybe I can force lag. I mean, this is the experience of streaming game development, alright? It's going to lag. Now, if I use Lumen and I also use Skylight, it's still going to look too dark. Because the Skylight is supposed to look like this. It's supposed to not look blue. But still, I never managed to make it look good using Lumen. Control Z. And now we're not using Lumen anymore. I don't know why people like to use Lumen. Lumen just works good if you are actually making an outside scene. Anything that is inside is going to look horrible. Can I try to make something to make this string look good and not lag? Can I try to do that? Can I try to cap my FPS? May have a string PC. I have 2 GPUs. The thing is, light show string. Yay! It is a light show. The thing is, one of my GPUs are not meant for... How do I phrase that? One of my GPUs only works for rendering. It's actually slow for games and streaming. But it works really normal for anything related to rendering. So I need to figure out how to do that, how to make this work. I think you can limit the Unreal Engine FPS. That would work. You know what? Let me Google that. How to limit... Oh, I almost forgot.
Make a card that forces the...
Shard, can you say the word airplane for me? Yes. Airplane. Yes, I do plan on adding a moth on the wall.
Are you still gonna have an interactable moth on some wall?
Yes. I do need to figure out how to model it though. Because as you can see, I had to learn a lot of stuff to be able to make the models for this game. So I think I am confident on making them off right now. No problem. How to limit Unreal Engine?
Thank you.
No problem. Unreal Engine.
I still have to choose a card.
What do you mean by I still have to choose a card? Okay. I'm going to spend the rest of the stream to figure out how to lock the FPS to 30. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT.
The custom one to make.
Alright. Even I forgot about that. ChatGPT. How do I limit the FPS in Unreal Engine Editor? It seems to be easy. Let's see. FPS? Start FPS. Yes, it is started right now.
You remember in UE4 there was a console command to limit FPS.
Yes, I did it! Now the string actually works.
IDK how to do that in UE5.
Yeah, the string should not be lagging anymore. And as you can see right here, I spent some time making the composition for this scene. Because I want this to actually look like something that you see and you think, hey, that's safe. That room, that corridor, I want to be there.
Seems2B30 fps max.
It is 30 FPS max. Now,
Yippee!
question, chat. Does
Yuppie.
this look like some kind of safe room in a game? Because I want this to look cozy. And I want this place for when you get close to play classical music. So you get close to this place and you start to hear some classical music. And something like really cozy. And you can save the game. And the rest of the game is just dark. It's just, hey, you're in a death game. Suffer.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, that's good, a little.
I was expecting you are seen.
I was using
This looks very
inspiration.
nice and cozy.
Half-Life Alex, because Half-Life Alex has a lot of places which are really dirty, but they feel cozy. And I also have a trick. Do you see this?
I
Again,
think
we are not using looming, right? And I will teach you something that Valve does. Team Fortress does that. Portal 1 and 2 does that. Half-Life Alex uses that. Half-Life 2 uses that. Back in the day, they did not have ray tracing. So instead, they would add lights that would work like ray tracing. It is not baked. That's the beauty of this. It is not baked. The lights are actually dynamic, and we can move them with the environment. So let's say that I change the day or the time of the day. I can move those lights depending of the time of the day, and they react to the environment. So if I take this light away, they still react to the feet of the Steve right there, as you can see. And that's why I love using fake lighting. What do you mean I don't have to use my oven for lights? You can make an oven for lights. You cannot. We can use this oven to light this entire room. They react to feet, yes.
I think it would be better if the room was angled 90 degrees.
I mean, I do plan
Like
on
you had
changing
to
a little
turn to the cozy
some
room.
things right here, like this.
It looks
can
pretty
make
calm,
something.
possibly a bit more light from the window, so it looks like those basements at the top of a house.
Chart
Yeah, there's a
sweeper
plane.
time is up. By Chart Sweeper.
I mean, I will try to make Minesweeper. If the game is okay, context. If I finish the game and I still have the energy to make a new game, I'm going to add Minesweeper to this game, just for the funny, just for the joke. I don't know why, but I will. Because as you can see right here, the environment for buying and selling cards is actually just a bunch of machines from the 80s and 90s. So I am going to change the texture of this one. I love this computer. It is a model, I think from the 70s. And back in the day, this only had a terminal. You were forced to actually know coding to use this. I'm going to use to add this bad boy to the name Substance Painting, and I'm going to add a bunch of grind to it and a bunch of new textures to make this look real nice. And also, this is the place where you actually buy cards and sell cards. So you can add the cards on the top of the disc or the bottom. If you add them from the to the top, you are actually use them to buy cards, because you're giving cards away to get a new card. And right here, this bad boy, which is a portable PC, is going to be used to upgrade cards. Now, it's not actually hard to make a display in Unreal. It's really easy. You just need to turn a menu in Unreal into a texture, which is exactly how the cards in the game work. All the cards you see in the game are actually menus. And this one right here is going to be some kind of, I don't know yet. Maybe use this bad boy to buy perks. But I do plan on adding either a dedicated slot machine or using this one as a slot machine. Wait, what's the model maker of the CRT monitor? The model maker, this one is actually a model I pay to use. I got this one from Blender Kit. The same for this one. Blender Kit has a lot of things that are really good. This is disable Blender Kit. I did change the model. I did fix the textures, because the Blender Kit textures are actually really, really bad. So I had to improve the textures and improve the color. Same for the chair. All cards are menus, yes. Let me show how. So we start the game. E. So first it's going to load the cards. Once the cards are loaded, as you can see right here, let me ask you a question. Why am I stuttering? If you have a menu, which are the cards, and the menu has things like the text of the cards, the name of the cards, the art of the card, what happens then if we use the menu as a source to bake the textures? Simple, you get a texture. So the moment the cards are loading, as you can see, there's a little delay, something like 5 seconds. That 5 seconds are the cards actually being loaded and turned into a texture. So if we stop the game right now, and we can click the card, on the left, I'm in front of it. I am in front of it. God damn it. Okay, I have to make me invisible. Don't worry about that. I can make myself invisible. I know the tricks. There. Did it work? It did not work. Okay, damn it. Maybe I can just change. Okay, here. On the right, as you can see right here, we have an instance of the texture, which is MID card front material. I don't want to explain how you do that in its entirety, because I kid you not, it took me one whole day to learn how to do that. But I just want to tell you, it works, it is possible, and it works really well. Just never forget to actually bake the textures. Otherwise, you have the equivalent of, let's say, 40 or 80 menus open. And that tanks FPS by a lot. We finally get a teaser, yes, you get. Will the game support keyboard-only navigation? Similar to Inscription. Yes, it is actually not that hard. I do plan on adding options for you to actually... Let me show. I am right now adding controls with the keyboard. So if you press tab, you actually see the game from the top. If you press space, you hide the cards. Let's say you can see, you want to see the board, right? So oh no, this card is in front of the board. Space. I'm seeing the vision, Mr. Shard. You're seeing the vision. Great. Will the game support Steam? That's the thing. I want to release the game on Steam. The movements are very fluid. Thank you. Now I have something to show you. This game allows you to press the middle mouse button, right? So if you button, you see the board. Nothing new, nothing special. However, if you press the middle mouse button again, you can actually look around. And you can actually see the Steves betting and watching you play. So there's a Steve right there, one right there. He doesn't care about the game. He's just having a conversation. But these three, I'm going to add animations, interactions, so you can actually cheat mid-fight or ask them questions during the fight. That's my plan. And right here, we have the arbiter, which is going to prevent you from cheating. And right here, we have our opponent, which is Military Steve. He is using a uniform from around the 18th century, 19th century Europe. Where can I wishlist the game? I'm going to allow you to wishlist the game the moment I have a demo. I don't want to add the game on Steam before I have a free demo for you to experience the game. Can you bribe the arbiter? No. To get around the arbiter, you actually have to finish the game first. So let's say you finish the game. Then, where am I? Okay, then you get to another part of the game, which is the storytelling. You can actually have a conversation with these tips. You can actually interact with them. There's one, okay. Let me tell you, I have one interaction ready. Not ready, I'm working on it. But I have the script, which is the stolen coffee. So you find the coffee, and you have to find who is the owner of the coffee, right? And if you find the owner of the coffee, and you give the coffee to the owner, you actually get a card named Coffee. And also, you can get right here. Right here, this is a placeholder model. This one is Prisoner Steve. I'm still working on the texture for his clothing. It's going to be the American season one. So it's an origin clothing. If you find this is Steve, you can actually trade cards for coffee and flour. You can actually get cards in exchange of the white. So you can get right here, for example. Get flour, and then you get cards. And of course, we are adding as well. That Steve looks really fly. Thank you. I'm going to add as well the Detective Steve. So each and every Steve is going to be related to another Steve. The military Steve is going to always try to get Steves to join the army. The General Steve is going to be just Steve. So this one is General Steve. The color of the clothing will change because he's just the general opponent. This one is blue, this one is red. You have the white, untucked Steve. So this is just general conversations and interactions. It's the default one. Will the Steves have faces? They will have faces, just like my last video. Their faces will be the faces of my last video. Why don't I have the faces right now? Because the faces, for them to work, I need to use menus. Otherwise, they will get blurry. I'm using right now temporal anti-aliasing, right? Temporal anti-aliasing doesn't work with video, doesn't work with texture change. So I need to turn the faces into actual menus because the menu doesn't get affected by anti-aliasing. Dutch voice actor when? I do plan on doing like Imma, because if you didn't know, Imma has a bunch of voice actors. Some are Italian, some are American, some are Japanese. Right now, I do plan on voice acting almost all Steves. And as you know, I know a little bit of Japanese. And I know Portuguese. So some Steves will actually have different voices. And I do plan on adding Japanese Steve. For no reason, just because it's funny. Have you added the mirror yet? No, but I have fixed the environment for the mirror joke. There's gonna be a joke where when you save the game, right, you save the game, then you sit to save the game. And if you look to the right or left, you're going to find a mirror. And you have the chance to pick up the mirror. And you're gonna say, it's you. You look good. And if you stay there with the mirror in hand, Overthinker, which is the voice in your head, will get mad. The guy on your left, he's not just a placeholder. I mean, he might be a placeholder, I need to work on the model yet. But the guy on the left is Overthinker. Just like Stanley Parable, and just like There Is No Game, this game has a narrator. And the narrator is the guy on the left, Overthinker. And you can annoy him. Despite everything, it's still you. Now, I actually want to add some references to YouTubers I watch. So, it's you. You look good. Is a reference to Manly Badass Hero. Chris Pratt as a voice actor. I don't know who he is. Who is Chris Pratt? I thought the Steves will have your face on it, despite being raw, like your newest video. They will be... I don't think it was gonna... I don't think... anime, yes, anime. I don't think it's gonna look good if I just use my face on them. I actually want to make them look like a whole style. A whole cohesive style. That's why I spend the time to learn how to model clothes and how to animate all the Steves. Because all of them are using the same texture, the same type of texture. All of them are using the same type of ambient occlusion and the same type of grime pattern. That's why they actually look like they belong in the same world. And I want this style to actually look and feel cohesive. So yeah, that's basically Google Chris Pratt. Do I have coffee? I have bad news. I ran out of coffee. Chris Pratt Pretty? Oh, it's the guy from the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know the Greek story of a person loving themselves so much they die because they literally were so in love with themselves. They forgot how to live normally. Yes, I know. I know. That's kind of the joke I want to make. But instead of you dying because you're looking to yourself too much in the mirror, you're just going to make Overthinker go mad. Like he's definitely going to go mad. 3D motion graphics. No. I mean, there are some preset animations in the game. But besides the preset animations, I'm going to animate things myself. Do you plan to make have the game in multiple languages? Yes, I do plan on doing that once the game is ready. He's also Super Mario. And Garfield. I did not know that. When I said it's not the final model, it's because I still need to work on different poses and animations. I want to add a breathing animation for the pixelated model right there. And I want to make him move and talk. And I'm going to add also a mampu. What is a mampu? A mampu is the thing I use when I talk. So do you see that orange thing you see when I talk? That's a mampu. Mampu. And yeah, he's going to have that. You could not have read my message more wrong. Wait. I'm sorry, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Know what? Let's bring back the test. Can you spin so much narrator vomits? That's actually a great idea. You just keep doing that. That's actually a nice idea.
TTS.
Yes, yes. Now, I was playing this and testing the environments. Look what I found. Look at what I found. You can step on the table. And I'm thinking on letting the player do that. And I'm thinking on adding anything interaction if you do that. Like the Stanley Parable ending, where you actually break the game.
Make narrator Steve bounce.
TTS.
Yay TTS.
TTS, yes,
We can
TTS.
yell at you now.
You're not yelling, you're just
The one
complaining.
about game in multiple languages. When that will be the case, can I work on translation? The text, not the voice acting.
When
yes,
will we get Jack
but
Black
that's,
as the
I'm going to work
antagonist?
on that. I'm going to work on that once the game
ス
is
ティーブ
ready.
ゲットオフザテーブル U1 順位オフ RE ステップ
When will you get Jack Black as the antagonist? You know, that's actually funny though. We can make someone called Jack Black, who actually play Blackjack. No, hear me out. Blackjack, who plays Jack Black. Or Jack Black, who plays Jack Black. You know what I'm trying to say, right? We can add a Blackjack minigame. Steve, get off the table. You're stepping on the cards. About the posters. I'm going to add a lot of posters here. So if you want to make a poster for the environment, we have a lot of space here. A lot of space. All these papers right here are going to be a different poster. And the main ones, which are the ones that are already colored, are going to be made by me. I'm going to make a bunch of propaganda with Steve's.
I made a poster.
We should hire
okay.
Jack Black.
Brother, can you make a server,
Mick Heck
not
Black.
server, a channel for the
Will
posters?
Smith, Will Smith.
Will
Yes.
Jack Black say I am Steve?
Yes. But anyway, Butterscotch or any mod, if you can make a channel for the posters, I would appreciate a lot. Now, this right here is still a placeholder. I'm going to work on the papers and add a bunch of documents right here. However, the idea is we have 20 Steves, 20 main Steves, with each one is going to have a card. And you can check this out to see who's alive, who's dead, and what skills you found out about them. Right now, so far, we have about 8 Steves ready. And I'm working still on the others. And we have the model for 7 Steves. What if the narrator Steve from some kind of secret action becomes unpixelated? And he's actually evil, Stevie Mustache. I don't know. Okay, the thing is, I already have a lore reason as to why the Steve is inside your head and why he's called Overthinker. And if you know about the lore, I have a character called Schizophrenic Overthinker. So you can actually fight the schizophrenic guy, and become Schizophrenic Overthinker Steve. Yes, it all fits together now. The lore is getting thicker. Is the Discord free or for Patreon members? It is free. Everyone can join the Discord server. We can make Bald Steve though. Why haven't I thought about that? We can make Alpha Male Steve. Okay, what if we have a Steve who's just there listening to podcasts and making podcasts, and of course he's bald, and he make a podcast about being the alpha male, being the alpha Steve, and the whole joke is he's just making jokes. Shared deal trade. The joke is he's just making a podcast by Steves for Steves. His advices are just about how to be the alpha male Steve, and no, nothing else. Steve Shorten. Yes. I already know you guys love this idea. You know, I'm going to add this to my list. I have a list of things I'm going to add to the game. So, dogs. We need a Mick Steve. I don't know if I can make Mick Steve. For copyright reasons. I actually don't know if I can do that. Anyway, let's add Bald Steve. He's the alpha. You know he's the alpha because bald. He's not insecure about his baldness. Bald. There you go. We're gonna have Bald Steve. It's a promise. There's a VOD channel. The VOD channel is a stream channel. Jamie, pull up the video of the mouth on the guy. Yeah, that's it. That's the spirit. I don't even have to make jokes. The whole alpha male sphere is a joke. Having BS in the contribution of the podcast name is funny. I mean, you can make a bunch of jokes with that. I can make a whole podcast of that, right? You can't make Miku Steve. They allow non-commercial use of Miku. Yes, exactly. I was right. I cannot use Miku. Alright, let's go back to the coding. Because I need to... Wait. Coding. Yeah, that's here. There's a bunch of stuff I had to add to the game. Steve Mayo. Hands better than Alpha. Yes.
Wait,
I mean,
we need
wait, you know getting to work, right? Of course you know get to work. I did stream that game. There's a whole podcast, which is about 1 hour long, for the game get to work. We can do this. I think I can do this. I just need to make a voice for the Okay, we have the voice for the beta Steve, and we have the voice for the alpha Steve. And I just do that for one whole hour. I think I can do that. Let me check the poster channel. Before that, let me check the poster channel. Have you played today? He's always watching. This is actually good. I just think I have to add a little bit of dirt and grime to the poster, so it looks realistic to the environment. And I love the idea. Okay, for context, guys. I'm going to write that. Our posters should be reference to World War I posters. If you want to make a poster which is a parody of World War I propaganda, then feel free to make it, and I will add this to the list of posters that are... Oh, goddammit. that are here, near the game table. Now let's go make some coding. Because of course, this is the promise of this ring. We code.
Make the calendar date June 28, 2028. What if you just give us a blank piece of paper and tell us to draw our imagination of Maiku Steve? That way avoiding copyright.
The thing is, I still have to
At
make the hair.
Evel Team 730 No, the poster's channel to submit art.
Okay, we have the music, the movement phase. Do anyone here have a question about the coding of the game and how the game works? Because right now, I do have a whole map about how I have to code the game. The only thing I have to do now is make sure the code works and write everything. Right now, I have a function, a macro function, to check the skill of the card you are using. This is for continuous cards.
Well, the code reminds me of a noodle. So my question is, can I eat the noodle?
ソザロジックイズメイドするの
Yeah.
There's no
You can,
code
you can try to eat
text.
it. You can print the print screen
How I am
of the game
supposed to copy
and edit.
WW1 posters if my country never took part in it I don't even know what the war was about Zwiędły Kwiat.
You can just Google World War I propaganda and you will find a bunch of them, including the... Okay, context. Yes, complete victory if you eat less bread. This is a poster for World War I. This is one for the Americans, I think, or British. The enemy is listening. He wants to know what you know. Keep it to yourself. This one is American. This one is also American. The kitchen is the key to the victory. Eat less bread. And then I'm going to make a bunch of posters, which are actually the Steves. And I'm going to use a bunch of flat colors. And I don't yet know. Maybe I can import them into Blender, because Blender still has better lighting. So yeah. Oh, there's another one over here. Say the wheat. Help the fleet. Eat less bread. Why are all of them about eating bread? Simple. Because bread is essential. Everyone needs bread. The soldiers need bread. You need bread. I need bread. We all love bread. Okay, let's see. Here's the function. And of course, people are gambling again. I miss gambling so much. Okay, here's the... We don't need this one anymore. We only have the event graph.
At gamble.
Okay, how do I do this right now? This is going to be the slow part of this string.
At Gamble.
So if you lose your mind...
Hello?
I don't blame
Mr.
you.
At Gamble?
Wait, did the gamble art show up?
Ivory, are you 10 ducks in a trench coat?
No, I'm 5 ducks in a trench coat because
A true
I'm
gambler
tall.
never gives up, always gives it his all, even when he has nothing left to lose.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to turn off the TS right now for a second just to check my code. And yes, wiping your memory was necessary, don't worry about that. Don't worry, you will not lose your mental faculties by doing that too much. Okay. The turn start. Begin turn. This starts the menu. Let me open the menu as well. Ivory menu. Yes, Ivory menus. This is the main menu for the game information. We have the captions, we have the game phase. We do need more information about that. We also have an animation that hides the subtitles. So it changed the name to draw phase. Right here we have the turn number. And the interface, which is going to be used for the code. We are currently in the before draw phase. So each turn is divided in 3 parts: before, during, and after. I love the fact that while I'm explaining the code and reading the code, everyone is just gambling. For context, both the player and the enemy will use the same logic to do the actions. So when I work on this, I'm also working on the opponent. How many cards opponent draws per turn? 1. This is going to be used to reset the numbers before the real calculation. So we start the turn, we do... I'm honestly not paying attention to the code. Me neither. We never do. You just like to listen to my voice, right? This is basically ASMR. So long as I keep talking about anything, anyone will keep watching, right? I'm not kidding. If you give me any topic, I will make a story about that. And you bet people will like that. Nay, they will love that. Your voice does sound good. It's funny because right now I'm basically following the same steps as pirate software. Maybe I can make my voice sound even deeper. And I have to find a topic to be really mad about. Something that people really like and I hate. Guys, we should burn off orphanages. We should burn hospitals. No, don't do that. I'm just following my destiny. The next pirate software. To be fair, you're doing real coding. I don't really like to call notes real coding. Technically they are, because you had to learn that in college. For context, my mom actually is a professor in coding, in computer science. And you actually have to learn about visual coding in college. Is all the code in Unreal made with these logical nodes? Yes, it is. This is the logic for the game. So player draw first hand, mill, return, discard, select one. Discard one, select. It has to select because it's not random. Discard one, random. Game win condition. So here's the condition for the game. We also have some more coding for the cards, right? So, if I show you the card, here's the logic that turns them into valid cards. So, what does this do? It gets a code. Each code represents the color of the card, the type of the card, who's the owner, card type, card art, card row, card value, so on and so forth. After doing all that, and after doing all the necessary changes to the widgets of the card, then it renders the widget as a texture and removes the widget from the item, from the actor. Which means that now, instead of using a lot of CPU power and GPU power to render the widget, it only has to render the texture, which is like 1/10 or 1/100th of the power needed. So, high turn. This is going to be the hard part of the string, because we all know every time I code during the strings, I always loses my focus and start doing something else, like playing Minesweeper, or like making a code that is unrelated to the game. You know I want to do that, but instead I'm going to actually work on the game. So, this is the after draw phase. Each card in play gains an unique index. The index also defines the number of the effect index. Yes, I remember that. Now we need to work on the effect of another card. How do I do that? Is this card inside in the activation zone? Okay, this is the Boolean that is used to indicate if a card is or is not active. On draw phase effects, after draw phase effects. Okay, so this is a switch that changes when the card works. Now I need to find a string that defines the effect itself. Let me open the function. On draw phase effect. Maybe I have to debug this. Okay, I'm going to run the game. And running the game, I will use the debug option to see how things are developing. Yeah. Let's play it right here. And turn. Next turn. Next turn. Next turn. Okay, if my math is right now, this should show up. Yes. This right here you're seeing is the code that defines the action. Both means that both players are affected. Draw means the effect causes you to draw. Plus means it's positive. Because, for example, you can reduce the number of draws. The default number is 1. If you use minus, the draw number results to 0. So you have a plus and minus playing there. And 00001 defines the number of the action. The action happens once, twice, thrice. The machine must be fed, yes it has. Keep gambling. Keep gambling, children of gambling. I do coding for my own games in just JavaScript because engines like this scare me, as there is far too much for me to quickly understand. I agree with you. I agree. I'm going to tell you something. If I made a game using Java, it would be so much easier. Like, much easier. The reason why I'm not using Java is because I want this. I want the experience to actually fight someone and be able to look around. Because this is different. I never played a game, a card game, that allows you to look around. Okay. Let me get the card database. Java and Java... Yeah, I did not know that. As you can see, I don't really know much about normal coding. I just know about semi, which is like either Java or JavaScript. Okay, where is the database? Where is the database? Card data. Okay. Okay, here's the effects. And here are the cards. This is a tempo condition. Basic effect 1, basic effect 2, basic... Okay, right now I'm working on the tempo conditions, which are effects that happen at a very specific time. I'm really sorry, okay? I don't know much about normal coding, I told you before. I just know with my meager experience using semi, it's much faster to do normal coding. Okay, the other ones. We have unrivaled raw. Alright, now I remember. I remember now why I only did the both one. So play or remove. Your mu plus 1. If you want to know why I have grammar mistakes right here, it's because I have to use, in this code, 4 characters for each element. So rival draw plus your mu plus. I cannot use you. I'm using it in units of 5. He's just pretending, guys. Don't trust him. I actually don't know. I don't know anymore. Who am I? So I do need to work on the visuals for the opponent draws. Which means I have to actually make in battle events and animations. Mew animation. Cards in hand animation. Is this Unreal 4 or 5? 5. The only reason why I'm using Unreal 5 is because of Nanite. Nothing, no other reason. Nanite actually works well. Okay, let's stop the game. Don't worry about the runtime errors. There are no errors in either shard. Okay, this is the animation for the Overthinker. This is not related to the fight. It shouldn't even be here though. Maybe I have to make a new blueprint for this one. The odds are 1 in 20, and you guys are just losing. You know, I thought you were better at gambling. Okay, animation cards in hand. I have to duplicate this. However, I need to use this for the opponents. Let me check if the distribution of cards for me and the opponent are working. The machine has to be fed. You guys are taking this so seriously. I'm proud of you. Okay, how many cards in hand does the opponent has? Move cards to the deck zones. Deck 1, deck 2. Okay, this is deck 2. Alright, so the distribution of cards is working. The opponent has 30 cards. I have 25. The limit is 30 right now. I can use this deck to pull cards from the deck towards the hands. This should work. I can just... Yeah, I can copy this right now. And I can work on the details later. It would be really funny if I actually made the odds 0 in 20. And for the entire string, everyone tried to gamble and win. And no one won. And I just like, guys, just keep going. The next one you're gonna win. Trust me, guys. Maybe I did that this time. Good luck on the coding. Thank you. I'm telling you, maybe the chances of winning are 0. Realistic gambling machine. Exactly. We are all here just for the realism. Okay, custom event. Animation for cards in hand. If you did not know, Unreal works with ticks. What does that mean? You need one main node that handles all the ticks, which is this one. And from there, all ticks happen in the order of this one right here. You could just connect them all to the same node. But if you did that, things would look really spaghetti. This is the one. I don't believe you, Waffle Man. I don't believe you. So, new custom event. Right now, I am adding a new custom event to trigger. Oh no. To trigger the animations for the opponent drawing the cards. So, opponent card draw. That's the name. And now I am pulling the call function. Otherwise, nothing happens. So, the tick menu, the event tick, is going to trigger the call function, which then is going to trigger the animations for the cards. Which are here. Okay, this problem is solved. Now I just need to adapt the position with the cards. Because I have no idea where they should be for the player to see them while playing. Maybe further in front. Wait, Ivory, what? What are you trying to say? This is coding time, it is coding time. Linking, jinking, joking. I have no idea what to say. I'm calling, yes, I'm calling. Someone won the gamble! Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Is this your life purpose? Congratulations! You just banned a lot of viewers. It seems you managed to not ban yourself, which is even more impressive. I leave! You leave! Okay, let me ask you something. Let me ask something, Devil Man. You won the gamble, but how much money did you actually make, right? How much money did you actually invest in the gamble? Never ask a gambler. Wait, never ask a man their salary. Never ask a woman their age. And never ask a gambler how much money they actually made in profit. Why did you buy an APU out of all things? Because the CPU I bought actually is really good, even though it has a APU. I have a Ryzen 79,000. Wait, 7900, something like this. 3D. And it's really good. It has 24 cores? I don't know the name. It has 24 threads, I think. Okay, we just need to pull. Have the camera. We don't need the camera this time. You are higher. We are not higher. We are not hiring Otatus. Why are you higher? Is player playing? We don't need this one right now. Yeah, I think it is actually 24 threads. What? It ignores me. Okay, I'm going to give you the device back. Okay. I can see you guys actually need the voice. It's like your plaything, your toy. Be free, my children. The world of TTS awaits you.
24-core CPU would be insane lol.
What the? It ignores me.
7900X3D has 12 cores,
7900
24
has 12 cores, yes.
What happened? Did we get unbanned?
Maybe. Okay. Player 1 cards in hand. We have to make a hand for the opponent. Move cards to deck zones. Alright, I can see the problem now. Draw first hand.
The gamble machine
Hands.
ignores me.
Maybe you're writing something wrong. Has to be exclamation mark gamble. Okay, draw initial hand. We have player 1. Draw. Here.
Did I got shadow banned?
Okay, left 1 are going to be only player actions. Oh. Oh no! I hate the when this happens.
Yay.
Right now, I know you can see a bunch of spaghetti coding right here. And that's because it is. Sometimes this happens. So, left side are going to be only player actions. Right side. You know what? What is left and what is right? Instead, the more left, the left of their left, are going to be enemy actions. So, new command. Wait. Event. Enemy draw. Player draw 1. Enemy draw 1. Okay. This seems to be working. Enemy draw 1. Now we have the action to trigger the draw 1. And the number of draws depends on the size of the hand. Because some opponents have a different sizes of a hand. Right now, the default value is 5 and 5, which is good. Which is actually the default value for the game. Now, for the draw. Draw animation. Instead, let's just copy this, paste, and hope for the best. Right? Enemy draw 1. The condition, if the length... This is the size of the deck. So if the deck is not 0, do action. And if it is 0, then the opponent loses the game, and you win. Let's find owner get owner 2 deck. This is the deck of the opponent. So instead of using deck 1, which is the player, we're gonna use the deck 2, which is the opponent. And then we use the get operation. So we're gonna get a card on top of the deck. Here. Player 1 card being drawn. Pause, player lost. We need to change this condition though, because otherwise, opponent loses. not player. Remove array. Index. Yes, we have to remove this. And we have to do a variable name. Card being draw. Player. 2 card being draw. If you're confused on what I'm doing, I'm basically making sure we have an array for the opponent so he can draw cards and add cards to their hand. Right now, the reason why the player animation is tangled to the player draw is because I don't want the player to glitch the draw if they draw too fast. So player 1 draw, player draw 1. Does this work as it should work? So player draw 1. Then it sends. Oh right, I remember this one. Instead, maybe we can just send it to the hands, since it's the CPU. We have cards being drawn, cards in hand. But this is for the player. So instead, we can just use player 2. And we have to create one. Cards in hand. Promote variable. Player 2 cards in hand. Okay, if I am right, this should work much more easily than forcing the game to draw cards for the player. When you add the player to the equation, you always have to be careful with timing. Because if the timing is wrong, the player can break the entire game. But since this is the CPU, or the enemy, or the AI opponents, the timing will never be a problem. Or at least should never be a problem. Now, player 2 cards in hand. Set. We need to know the number of cards in hand as well. So, then we have to create a new variable. How many variables do I have to create here? Okay. Number of cards in hand. Opponent. I may be forced to fix the naming system later. But hey, if it works, it works. So long the game works, which it will work. If you don't believe me, at the end of this string, you're gonna say, I'm sorry, Evershard. You were right. You actually knew what you were doing. Yeah, you're gonna say that. Even though I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not kidding. I have some idea of what I'm doing. Okay, number of cards in hand. Okay, we reached a problem though. Hello, Picklick, how are you doing?
Huh.
Yes, that's my expression as well. People are just gambling.
Will there be a way to play against a real-world friend in the game?
Fortunately, yes.
Nice.
It's
Hi.
actually easy to make online games in Unreal. And this code I'm making is already set to work with online play. Because instead of using just CPU and opponent, I'm actually using a logic that uses player 1, player 2. And player 1 uses the same logic as player 2. The only reason why I'm making a dedicated code for the opponent right now is because I want to make sure things work single player first. Then I can copy and paste the logic of each player to make a multiplayer version. So, length. We do have the length though, right? So how do I check the cards in hand? Why do I have a feeling this is actually a variable we already had? So, it is actually this one. I just need to know what variable is controlling that. Okay, number of cards in hand.
We love gambling.
We all love gambling as well. Everyone should love gambling. Animation for cards in hand. Cards in hand animation. Alright,
The gambling machine no longer accepts me.
That's because you are too good at gambling.
I'm a go by.
I'm so dumb, I only have to use the length. The number of cards in hand is the length of cards in hand. Also, player 2 cards in hand.
Sigh.
Okay. So we get the number of cards in hand, and we turn that into an integer. If the value is different than 0, that means you have cards in hand. Which means we can do the calculation for the animation of the cards in hand. So far, everything is working as it should. So we can delete these variables right here, which are actually for the interaction with the cards. As you can see, click delay. We don't need this one. We have the array elements. And current card. Array elements opponent. This entire array, this entire section, will have the same name, but instead it's going to be opponent. Opponent. By the way,
why are there double messages by Ivory Shard whenever there's an event?
That's because one is being sent to YouTube and the other one's being sent to Twitch. Double the fun.
Double the fun.
Exactly. Okay, this time promote the variable.
Right.
Current. Wait, we don't need a current card. Or do we? Current card. Opponent. By the way, for the animations, I'm actually using a for loop logic. Basically, it checks each card in the loop and is going to assign them a different position. That's how it works here. So, for the player, it's loading. For the player, once you have cards in hand, it checks how many cards you have in hand, and each card is going to be get the position +1, the position +1, the position +2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why each card has a position. Don't worry about the bug in the movement. It's because we have a second array right there, which is still the array I'm fixing to turn it so the opponent can use it. So it's the same thing is going to happen to the opponent. It's going to be the number of the card.
There's gambling?
Plus the position.
Horse.
Yes, there's gambling in the game and there's gambling in the string. Right, horse? Horse, the dumb mouth. Moth? Wait, who are you? Why moth? Are you the person I think you are? Why is opponent so weirdly... Developer, I found a bug! Guys, I actually found a bug in Unreal. Do you see this? Array element, 0 opponent. This is an O. If you check it to the right...
Who do you think I am?
Yes.
Butterscotch. If you check to the right, it's actually your opponent. But right here, 0 opponent. Is this a bug? I found a bug in Unreal. This is Unreal. How? But if I press the space, it works. Is this a
No,
bug?
that dumb moth is not me.
Why everyone here likes moths? Current card name. We don't need a card name,
Womp
or do
womp.
we?
When the
We
code
don't.
is so bad, you become a bug tester for undiscovered territory.
Make pretty
Shut up.
boy variable to player that is randomly set at the start to either true or false, and it just slightly changes how character is rendered.
Wait, what?
I heard moths. Where are the moths? Give me moths.
How many people here like moths? Why do you like moths? When I think about moths, I only think about Mothman. And a guy who looks like a moth and
Moths
is
are
naked
dumb.
is not a
I
good
like
sight.
moths. I love moths.
Moths.
They are everywhere! Why?
Maybe the moths were the horses we made along the way.
I love moths.
At this point,
I
you
like
can just
fluffy,
imagine
cute
me
moth.
in a corner. Like, why? Why everyone? They are all turning into moths! Everyone! That's my reaction right now. I have no idea what's happening. I'm just in the corner. Confused. I'm just trying to code, and everyone's like, hey, Irishard, show us the moths. Show me them. We need them.
Everyone loves moths.
Never seen a moth girl.
I think that's a goth girl.
Ban the word moth. Not
No,
horse,
I
of
will
course.
not ban the word moth.
I am morphing it.
Never the word horse.
Put moths on stream.
Okay, player, get...
I have a mother.
I'm quiet right now because I'm thinking.
Don't horse the moth.
You have a what?
You mean a mother?
I just got back.
Hello, back. I'm
Oh
Ivory.
no, he's thinking.
I was undervolting my deck.
Okay, sure.
Our
Okay.
society is built on moths.
I'm going to teach you something. I'm not kidding. I'm going to teach you something about game development right now. How do you make a board game or any game that exists in a grid? First, you actually need a way for your players or characters or objects to have a reference to the position. As you can see here, I have a slot called slot actor. The 0 is right here, which is the ban zone of my game. Then we have zone 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, up to 24. Then we have 25, which is the ban zone of the other player. Yeah, it's like chess. Each number is a hex, which means that the logic of the game runs using these numbers. So I can tell the game, hey, check the actor in position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In my case, I'm just using this for a reference of position. Cause for the game logic, I'm using arrays. Cause I can just pull the array information to get a card. Which is much easier. I also have a board center. The board center is actually used so I can make sure the player is always at a set distance from the board, because this is exactly in the middle of the board. Always. This also means I can make sure the opponent is at a set distance from the board, because I can force the cards of the opponent to be animated in reference to the center of the board. Add moths to the game. I want to do that. I'm going to do that as I told you before. I'm going to do that once the game is further ahead in development, because the moth is going to be related to a quest in the game. Give us moths, Moth Boy. Don't call me Moth Boy! Call me anything but Moth Boy. Why Moth Boy? You know what? I'm just gonna be quiet. It changed a little, Ivory. It did not change. My voice is always like this. My voice is always deep. I always sound. It's like Jacksepticeye. What do you mean by that? You are too weak to be Mothman. You know, I can imagine a superhero telling that to another one, like, Mothman. You are too weak to be Mothman again. You are just too weak, Mothman. What kind of edibles are you taking to be this freakishly productive? I'm not taking any edible, Iceman. By the way, since you missed the start of the string, I'm just going to show you the rest of the environment without the characters, with them moving, because I do have animations for some of them. So yes, we have the basement. By the way, this group right here, I'm going to call the Steve Gang. They are the only group who managed to actually get 4 members. The other ones are just 2 or 1. And this one is the prisoner Steve, who is always 1. And there's just always a Steve sleeping right here. I don't know about the lore of the sleeping Steve, but I need to figure out. There's also one Steve right here, which I also don't know about the lore. I just think he looks sad. So yes. He doesn't know about the Moth Boys incident. No. None of you know. Only a limited few in the Discord know. I feel like a kid who was let out from an inside joke. Can you make the game window bigger while showing it to us? Oh, you're right. You're right. I just now realized. I forgot this one was in front of the game. You know, I'm sorry about that. Let me show you the game again. This time big. Because I forgot to make it big. Anyway. As I was saying, we have a lot of Steves right here. We have Gambler Steve. We have Military Steve. We have the other Steves. And this group right here is the only one who managed to make 4 members. They are the Steve Gang. By the way, this one is just placeholder. It's going to be another type of uniform. We have this one, which I know nothing about the story, but it's just like I said. We have the Sleeping Steve. Prisoner Steve. And this one right here is going to be the Clerk Steve. I don't know how the Clerk Steve is going to look though. I'm still developing that. What's the point of making the tail basement when the main game would be mostly in front of the table? That's the thing. The main game is not in the table. The game is actually you talking to the Steves and moving around the basements and having interactions and cutscenes and jokes like the Stanley Parable. And I am making some environments outside of the basement for some jokes. But yeah, why do I need a detailed environment? Even when you are playing, you can interact with other Steves. Some things will happen that will change the gameplay. The outside. The outside is just another inside. Maybe it would be funny if Bald Steve... Okay, I have an idea. What if there's a radio in some place right here you can listen to? As I told you before, and the radio is playing the Bald Steve podcast. But then you get a quest from Military Steve to go to the outside. And you find the Military Steve, the Bald Steve podcast nest. And then you get a jump scare of Bald Steve. Maybe I can do that. The faces look like wood. Yeah, they are wood. As you can see right here, there are actually some things on their neck, because they are actually dolls. The outside is simply a bigger inside. There's an infinite layer of insides in either direction. You can never be free. Hello everyone, I'm finally here for real. Hello JG, how are you doing? That's actually a fun idea, to connect to other basements. I can make a joke ending that is actually like... Have you guys ever played Frostpunk? We can get a Frostpunk ending where the outside is actually a survivor kind of nest or place. People are hiding from the outside. Because the outside is just nothing. I mean, again, it's gonna be a joke ending I can make. We will mistake the bald head for an egg in the nest. It'll be funny. Anyway, back to clothing. But before that, the OFC wants you. I need to fix the UV map. However, I'm going to add this one right here. Okay. The OFC needs you. Let me find the poster. Folder. Poster. Posters. And we just got one. From Butterscotch, right? Oh, I cannot use WebP images. Can I save it as PNG? I cannot. I have to change the file format later. Anyway, let's just copy and paste as a print screen. Did it work? Now we get the texture of the plane. Where's the texture? I'm pretty sure, yes, it's here. So yeah, I'm going to add the posters you make to the game. WebP strikes again. Yeah, I hate WebP. I will add dirty and other effects to the posters you make. But yes, you can make posters and I will add them as they are, because we have a lot of space to cover. And when I say a lot, we have a lot of space to cover. A lot of pamphlets we need. Now, back to coding. To send as JPEG, you actually need to send it using WinRAR. You have to compress it, so I can download the pure JPEG. The thematic... If you check Discord right now, I did send a message telling people what is the theme of the posters. Our posters should be a reference to World War I posters. Not you, World War I. just like this one. Yes, complete victory if you eat less bread. Or the enemy is listening. He wants to know what you know. Keep it to yourself. You can just write something funny. You don't even have to make a drawing. But I need the posters to have fonts similar to the World War I. Okay, so here. Would cute anime fox girls fit the theme? Yes. Yes, they would. But they have to be in the theme of World War I. And Steve. It has to be World War I Steve. If you can draw Steve as a cute anime girl, yes. But it cannot be... Okay, don't do something unhinged. I mean, it can be unhinged, but not that unhinged. Current card opponent, yes. Ivory player. We don't need Ivory player though, because we are not using the player for the position of the cards. The thing is, there's no problem if there's already a poster of "We need you." Because the thing is, we actually have the slots for at least 50 posters. We have a bunch of space for a lot of posters. Even here. And I'm going to add posters throughout the entire environment. However, the main ones will be made by me. And the main ones are the big ones. Like this one. Or this one. Or these ones. This entire wall is going to be my wall. Okay? You have your wall. That's mine wall. No one touch my wall. And yes, I'm going to take this one off. Because this one is my wall. Only I can have this wall, alright? I fought to the teeth to get this wall. Do you know how many Steves died for us to conquer this basement? Exactly. You don't, because you don't know the lore. You don't know the lore. Okay. Index pool. Do I need the index of the card? I mean, I don't think we need, because the AI can just use the player 2 cards in hand to pull the index during calculations. So index pool of the select card. This is just for the animations of the player. We don't need this one. The lore is the friends we made along the way. You know what? I'm actually adding an ending to the game where you don't fight. The thing is, you may be asking yourself, hey, if the game has a lot of interactions, how do I avoid interactions if I just want to play the game? I'm going to add to the menu the option to reset interactions you already saw. So let's say you saw about half of the interactions of the whole game, but you want to see them again, for whatever reason. You can reset the interactions. Otherwise, you're just going to see the interactions you never saw before, which is going to keep the gameplay fresh. Because the game is actually a roguelike. I mean, almost a roguelike in the card game side. The lore is copied from Destio fanfics. Who's Destio? Current card. Selected card. We don't need selected card this time though. What is the moth actually going to do? My plan right now is to add a... Let me show you. as you can see, there's a camera right here, right? I'm going to animate the camera and make them follow the player. There are also cameras throughout the environment. Right there, right there. My plan is to have the wall in one of the spots of the wall. The moth in one of the spots of the wall. And it's going to lead to a kind of jailbreak. Then you have to interact with the other Steves, like the prisoner Steve. Or the gang Steve. And you're going to do a jailbreak and fight the basement owner. How are you going to fight the owner? Simple. In a children card game. As God intended. And so that's the Revolution War. The Revolution ending. And that's my plan. Like some kind of surreal situation where the moth actually knows more about the outside. That's my first idea though. There's also some vents right here, which I'm thinking on adding sound to. And I don't know if I should add the British Steve right here, because the British Steve is the one from the video I made. I was thinking on adding a really sad Steve, really depressed Steve, right here, which is going to be the British Steve. And meanwhile, the Army Steve is going to use tactics from the 1800s. And the other Steve, the British Steve, I'm thinking on giving them trench warfare cards. Have to go. Bye, everyone. Goodbye, Plick. Okay, let's go back to coding. Coding. So we have the current card. Yes, current card opponent. I will never do that. I will never let them milk them
Computer,
off.
you are using a moth.
That's actually really funny though. A card that's just T. Don't milk them off. This is too funny to not add the game. Okay, hear me out. What if one Steve asks something like, hey, can we milk them off? And everyone is just like horrified. Like, what did you just say? I can't add that. Maybe everyone's happy. We don't milk them off, but we have a reference to the milking of them off. Win-win!
Don't milk
Right,
the moth,
right.
Steve. Add a moth milk card.
Oh no, no. Okay.
If you make fight-able viewers, then please give me the T card.
That just instantly kills whoever plays it.
About the fightable viewers, I am doing that. As mentioned, we have 20 main Steves. Oh, why is the movement so fast? Okay. As mentioned, we have 20 playable Steves. But the other Steves, the normal Steves, are gonna have any name. And a bunch of gadgets, like the... Let's say you have a Steve. I can change their face. I can give them a specific pocket. I can give them some kind of gadget or something. So we can have a bunch of normal Steves with a bunch of little changes. Would you like our coffee with moth milk? Moth what? So yeah, fightable viewers are still an option. But they are going to be basically the normal Steve with something extra. Like this one, which is red. Red, blue. So it's on the table. Does moth milk have cement? No, only coffee. So, we need the current card. Is it me or the test is not broken? It's just off.
Does moth milk have cement?
Yeah, fair.
Okay, current card opponent. We don't have a selected card index. I don't think we need this one though. Because this one makes the card bigger if the player has the card selected. We don't need this one. So let's delete this one right here. I also don't think we need this one. Yeah, we don't. Delete. All right, I think I'm making progress. We don't need this one. Because I'm not basically trying to get the core of the animation for the cards.
Your gun isn't loaded.
It is always loaded. Alright? Just because sometimes it has less or more ammo doesn't mean it's not unloaded.
I never thought I'd miss the cognitive dissonance between the TTS and my actual voice.
Prove it.
At this point, your voice sounds like me to me. Prove it. Listen. We barely have 10 people watching. If I delete one viewer, I lose 10% of my audience. Do you think I'm gonna do that? Do you actually think I'm gonna do that? Okay, I may make a button that deletes 10% of my viewers once I have 100.
Yes.
You think so lowly of me.
Sounds like a sweet death game. If we start calling you Daddy Steve, will you delete us? Ivory, it's been 2 hours, it's time to unban all viewers.
Okay, how will you do
LOL.
it?
You have killed 100% before.
You can't be serious.
I'm going to unban people. Alright? I'm going to unban the worst of the worst. The worst viewers. The viewers who got a place in the ban zone because they were naughty. Oh no. We just have one banned viewer. We just have one naughty viewer.
How not to get banned?
It's terrorbing. It's terrorbing. Only one viewer is banned. How not to get banned? Just be nice. And avoid gambling. Like, never gamble. Never. Don't gamble, kids. Unless it's on my
Delete
channel.
10% of your viewer and you'll gain 50% of your sanity. Surprised face.
I mean, to be fair, I think I have to at least ban more than half.
Unban me.
You're not banned. Guys, we are about to finish coding. I know you think I did not do anything at all during this stream. However, this code right here is going to move the cards from the deck of the opponent to their hand. Trust me. Trust me. I just need to change some little things and it's gonna work. Trust me. This is gonna allow me to do so much for the game. Because it's the only thing missing for me to start working on the logic of the opponent. Because once this is ready, I can start coding the cards for the opponent to use. And then, with the visual, I can troubleshoot the cards. Because no visual means I have no idea if the cards are working. Cards in hand. I'm free! Terrabing, look at me in the eyes. Look at me in the eyes. How did you manage to be the only banned person? What naughty thing did you do this time? Who did you shoot? What did you do? No, seriously, no, seriously, no judgment. No judgment. Just tell me, what did you do? I did not. Lies! Lies! Gamble. Gambling is naughty. Stop crying. Someone won the gamble. Then, you know what? If you got shot because of the gamble, it's your fault for watching my stream. I'm making the persecution. We can do something like Shindigs. Shindigs actually made a witch hunt. Can you imagine if we make an overlay just to do a witch hunt against viewers? Terrabin is going to be the first one accused for being a witch. Okay, get card in hand 2. Current card position, right. This KO is 3. Is 1, I mean. Array element opponents. Now, the only thing I have to do for the code to work is get a position. That's why we're gonna get a reference from this for the center of the board. What's the chance of winning a gamble? 1 in 20. Why did they say it like this? 1 in 20! My first ring in a month. Hello, Mr. Frederick, sir. What do you mean by allegedly 1 in 20? It is 1 in 20. Wait, do we need... I just now realized something. There's a bit of redundancy in my code. That's not really bad, per se. You managed to fix the printer. Burn the witch! Burn! My dad and I have been trying to fix a printer for over 2 months. You know what he did? He called tech support. And they still did not manage to fix the printer. I'm sorry, DJ. We have to shoot you. Player 2 cards in hand. Current card opponent. Okay, so get position. We have to get a position for the center of the board. Board. We have a item called board center actor. Actor. Get actor of class. Center. Okay, for context, this is the part I most hate in Unreal. The only way for you to be able to communicate between the game and the blueprints is for you to get an actor and then do something with it. But the thing is, what if the actor has clones? How do you get the right one? The answer is simple. You have to find a way to decodify them so you get the right one. So you either make sure each one of them spawns in a right order, in a specific order, and then you pull them by order in the array of actors. Or you make sure each of them is a different special actor. In this case, the board center is its own actor, so I can just pull the board center, and then the returning value is the center of the board. I'm not hiding yaoi from you. And now I can use the center of the board as a coordinate to move the cards to a specific place. Because now I'm gonna use the center of the board plus a specific value. Can I get the root component? Plus a value of offset. What's your favorite yaoi? I don't know! There are questions you ask that will be even funnier if I could actually answer the question. But I know if I did answer the question, half of the viewers here would be horrified. Alright? There are questions you should be afraid of asking. Okay, another lesson by Ivor Sharp. I'm not kidding, I'm actually going to give you a lesson. Let me just fix the notes. If you are a game developer and you wanna know how to animate things procedurally, or how to make sure things are always facing the right direction, part of yours, I will not answer. I mean, if I were to answer, I would just Google any name. Anyway, back to coding. A vector is basically the green, red, and blue lines, right? If you get the vector of something, you get how much that something is positioned in the right direction of the vector or not. So if I rotate this, the vector has changed by a certain percentage, because now the red is pointing up. This is the default position. The more different to the default position you are, the more the value of the vector forward, up, or right changes. And you can multiply that value by something. Let's say 100. If you multiply that by 100 in the forward vector, that means that the object will be always 100 units in front of the object. And that's how I manage to animate the cards for the player. And even the overthinker is always, the guy on the left, is always in front of the player. That's because the actor, this guy right here on the left, is actually getting the forward position of the player and adding an offset. So he's always, let's say, 50 units in front of the player. The same is true for the cards. Don't worry about the bug, it's because I'm working on the code. So it's always in front of the player. And I love how this works. I never read any yaoi. Me neither. Me neither, them off. Alright, so... how did the conversation went? Pro coding, I'm giving you the real coding advice. Real coding advice! Why are you guys still talking about yaoi? I mean, how many people here? It's just like the furry fandom. People like coding and furries. Okay, so I need... let's get center, board center. I actually need the forward vector, which is the green one. I don't know why it's so funny when someone says, I am a furry. I'm not making fun of being a furry. I just love the idea of someone just looking me dead in the eyes, looking at my soul and saying, I am a furry. The overlap of coding and very queer communities are very high for some reason. Okay. So this is the forward vector. I have to multiply this by an integer. So get compile. You cannot see right now, but I'm compiling and changing the value. But I am in front of it. So let's try minus 50. Right? Minus 50. This is for the location and rotation. I love. Okay. The dumb offset. I read Furry Yuri before. Yavuz the intern fragment said, I have read things. Would you like to elaborate what things you read? Do you know of any performance difference between Blueprints and C++? Yes. Blueprints will always run slower. Let me rephrase that. Blueprints ticks will always run slower. It doesn't mean it runs worse. It actually does less interactions per second than C++. For you to get more interactions per second, you actually need functions. This is a function. This is something that is called by the blueprint and executed instantly. If you don't use functions, you will always be limited by the speed of your tick, which is the frame rate. For example, this is a function. This is a for loop function. It reads all the items in the array. So if you have 1,000 items in the array, it's gonna read all the items as fast as possible and run one loop for each item. So this bypasses the tick limit. But all at the same time, if you're not careful, it's gonna add lag to your game. Because if you're not careful, your game is gonna stutter every time this runs. Why am I using this then? Because you will never have more than 40 cards in your hand. Are the functions automatically threaded? No. I think it's not. I think the answer is not. If you want to use loops, you have to use a for loop with delay. This is a for loop with delay. It basically caps how fast the loop works per item. So let's say you are working on the speed of an army. Like each enemy has a different AI working. You won't use for loop with delay. Otherwise, all of them will work at the same time. And it's going to stutter your game. If you use for loop with delay, at the best, let's say, in the best condition ever, in the best, if things are working as they should, each soldier is going to calculate their move every 0.2 seconds or every 0.1 seconds. That's how Bannerlord works. That's why some soldiers take longer to calculate this new position with the player. Because they are working on a different tick. At least in CPP, to use more threads, you have to manually set it. I do think that blueprints use threads, but I don't think it uses threads unless you set it to, or unless you're using several blueprints. If you're using the same blueprint, I don't think it's gonna use threads. But if you're using several blueprints with the same architecture, then yes, you're gonna use threads because they're gonna divide everything. CPP, C++, I assume that. So let's say you have, instead of doing this, you actually link to each character of your game a blueprint with the AI inside the character, then yes, it's gonna use threads because you're multiplying the actions. The problem of doing that is that if you're running actually armies worth of soldiers or characters or players, this will easily get you to the limit of your capacities. If instead you have a brain that controls your unities, if the brain works, then never will your game lag. Because the logic of the game is being run by a modder, or not modder, a main dispatcher of actions. Turn on to test, you coward! You coward! You coward! Imagine every shark standing in front of the whiteboard looking crazy right now. Yes, exactly.
Hey moth boy, do you want to be a moth boy or a moth girl?
And that's why you lose your TTS privileges. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's think. Maybe I should use a whiteboard to teach you coding. Yes. It's gonna. I'm telling you guys, this is my part software arc. You can expect me to crash out in 2 years. I'll meet you there. So this is the volume, it's minus 50. Now I have to use player 2. Cards in hand. Current card opponent, yes, this one. We don't need... And you guys won again. You guys won again. Why? Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Do you enjoy doing that? We just lost half of our viewers. We just lost everyone.
I am happy.
They're dead. I'm happy. Good for you.
I'm living.
I'm still here. You're so lucky that YouTube. You're so lucky that YouTube has made so many updates that I cannot actually ban people anymore. I'm not kidding. You can blame YouTube for that, or you can, I don't know. You can say thank you for YouTube for being so shite that they broke everything I had. The last few months, YouTube has been breaking everything. Update after update. Things that used to work, they don't work anymore. And things that used to work well started breaking for no reason at all. My code is the same it always was. Same. I don't even know what to say. They took everything from me. They took my dog. They took my family. You can imagine me just crashing out. With a photo of the new CEO of YouTube. You took everything from me!
Death check.
Well, I am still alive as always.
Thanks for not killing me, Tilder. I am proud of what I've done.
Mr. Frederick, you're
Alive.
right. If I knew...
They took everything from him.
If I knew
I
real
know
coding,
why Ivory is so
I would
against
be
Yahoo.
sorry.
He uses nodes instead of actual code, so his brain is not fried enough to comprehend its beauty. Good job, YouTube. At Murpherderick7030, that's so true.
I don't even know who you are.
That's basically the new CEO. Wait. Is it still the same
YouTube,
CEO? I
it's
don't know.
YouTube.
I hate how much... The thing is, I am wiping your memory, yes, don't worry about that. If it was just me complaining, and the big YouTubers were fine with that, maybe the problem was me, right? Maybe I'm the problem, maybe I'm just old, maybe things has changed. Why are you the right? You're supposed to be on the left. Maybe things have changed. But no. Jacksepticeye hates YouTube. Markiplier hates YouTube. PewDiePie hates YouTube. We all hate the new YouTube. We all despise it. Because they don't even care about the opinion of the YouTubers anymore. They don't care about anything anymore. They're just running things the way that makes more money. And okay, hear me out. Jack just had one of his videos shadow banned. He made a video saying one of my videos was age restricted. Why? He was playing Silent Hill F. Markiplier played the whole Silent Hill F. He was not age restricted. I played Silent Hill F. I was not age restricted. A lot of YouTubers I watch played Silent Hill F. None of them were age restricted. And for some goddamn reason, Jacksepticeye played that godforsaken game and was age restricted. Why? And the thing is, I know about this problem because I played the same game as him and I didn't get any warning, any problem. I played the same sections as him. I don't know what's happening. I just don't know.
I made a Moth Intelligence Bureau pin for a Steve to represent me, not textured, but I did make a model.
What?
I want to check that later.
I blacked out for like an hour.
The way you say "we all" sounds kind of like Yahoo. Increase shareholders' value.
Tyranny
Yes.
of YouTube.
Give us Yahoo 3.
I've been having so many problems with Linux today. I have yet to find a code editor that actually runs my code. Randomly, I got sent to text-only mode. Then the
That's
bar
why you
tray
should use
disappeared.
Mint.
Then couldn't boot.
Discrimination
Lonnie.
against the Irish.
You should use Linux Mint. Mint is really good. Okay, this should be working now, right? If my calculation is right, this is the rotation. Alright? Right.
Arch, by the way.
Why are you...
I use Arch because I like pain.
I was gonna say that! Why do you use Arch? Dude, are you a masochist? How are you? No, this is not a joke. I need to know, are you a masochist? Why are you using Arch? Out of all things.
I think he should
Masochist.
use ArchBTB.
But it mostly just works fine for me.
Like a sadist or a masochist?
We could make a song like this, like a sadist.
I like having full control of my systems, and Arch lets me do that.
Okay.
It gives
As
me
you
a
can
gun and
see-
says, do it.
Okay. Okay, my code did work. As you can see right here. But we need the offset. Let's see, does it affect the movements of the player? No? Right? Does it affect the movement of the player? No. So it seems to be working. I just need to fix the position with the cards. Now comes the fun part. The thing is, I'm using procedural animations. And procedural animations usually use math. So I need to find the right values for the cards to move. Right now they are facing left. They should face forward. So we need to change one of these values by a number. So add 90 degrees. We also need to add offset per card. Right, per card. So the position, we have to change the vector. We have to use, maybe, idea. Maybe we have to use the vector right. Because the cards did not move forward. And yes, unfortunately, I will not read the test right now. because I'm about to fix fix something big. Yes. Because we are really close to adding a feature to the game. We multiply, but we also add. And this add value is going to be the current card. So, since the array starts at 0, the current one adds 0. After that, it adds 1, which is going to be the offset of the card. Right? Let's try it. Let's try it. It works! It actually works. As you can see, the position of the cards are right. The offset is wrong. It has to go to the left. Oh my, it actually works.
I have POP, uzinstalid, specifically because of the compatibility it has with NVIDIA cards. It should work just fine, but I'm having so much difficulty with it sob.
Linux turned my Hoi for map green.
Linux moment. QR Linux X.
I use Casios with KDE Desktop and it was super stable in all aspects so far. I even did some rising.
Did I just hear let's riot?
No.
Of course the French person shows up at the mention of a riot.
If we win the gamble now, only the gambler will survive.
Okay, about the Overthinker voice effect. I'm planning on adding distortion, but you can change the amount of distortion, and you can change the volume of the Overthinker. So I don't want the Overthinker to be annoying. I want it to be easy to understand. So if someone doesn't like the distortion, they can just turn it off.
Is Overthinker going to have the same voice effect as in the video? Arch is very stable, and I like it for that.
@butterscotch 9591リアル
Changing distortion in settings is definitely a good idea.
The thing is,
no, make
Unreal
Overthinker
allows,
annoying.
I don't want him to be annoying on purpose. Unreal lets us add plugins, audio plugins to the game. So I can basically make the game work. Just like my DAW, which is Digital Audio Interface. Okay, I do need the cards to be a little bit further apart. Yeah, so we actually need this one.
Make him optionally annoying.
How do I make him optionally annoying? Like,
DAW
would
is
I need
Digital
to-
Audio Workstation. No back to sleep.
yeah, DAW is Digital Audio Workstation. Did I say interface? Sorry, I was dumb. I'm not dumb anymore. Now I'm smart. Because I know what it means. Okay, I have to multiply this.
Add an opt-in option that turns everyone into Overthinker.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm thinking.
Will the
I
game
don't know
still
how
have
to
an
do that,
area
though.
past the basement? IIRC it was supposed to be the basement, the office, heaven or SMTH.
Yes. Now that I have managed to make this environment, I can actually use the walls I made and the other things I made as presets. My goal after the game is ready, by ready I mean once the main gameplay is ready, I'm going to make assets I can use to make more environments. And I'm going to import the environments I have ready, like the Office, to the game. That's why I made a new version of the Office in the video before the last one. As you can see, the Office has much more things, much more life to it. My main concern is not adding the environment, but optimizing it. Which actually takes a long time, if you are not careful.
I was gone, so I don't know if you replied, but here I'm using Pop! OS for the NVIDIA card's compatibility. Yet I'm having issues because I'm not used to any Linux environment. I have no clue if I broke stuff.
Okay. Let's multiply this by 0.1. Also, about other environments. The reason why it's important not to use Lumen.
Breaking stuff is the goal, Lonnie.
If you use Lumen, it's really hard to make sure things look good. However, if you don't use Lumen, and if you use ideas from Unreal 4, it is easy to make the environment look good. I mean, look at this. This is the outside. The amount of light is right. The amount of shadow is right. Everything is right. So that makes it much easier for me to make a new environment without having to worry about the illumination of the environment. Because if I add, I'm going to add, but when I add the office to the game, it will just look good without having to worry about how much light is coming from the window. As you can see right here, everything has a perfect amount of luminosity. Everywhere.
Arch is the femboy coder OS 3. I know Arch users and they are the most annoying people on this godforsaken planet.
Let's use float. Not again.
I personally thought I would be able to handle Linux, and I sure can. But sometimes things don't make sense and I can't find clear instructions, so I rely on Gemini, which knows less of me.
Congratulations, you managed to actually win the gamble.
That's a compliment.
3 times. Are you fulfilled? Are you happy? Is this your destiny in life? Of course it is your destiny. I bet you're grinning right now, like a little kid. We were having a conversation about Linux, and now they are gone. A live test. I think TTS broke. No more conversations now. Okay, you're back.
At that dumbeth I don't typically talk about using Arch, but the conversation went into Linux distros.
A live test.
Frederick.
リプレイある。
Huh. No.
Oh, I yet live.
Ivory shard is hot.
My head
me what?
hurts.
Oh my god, I can finally breathe again.
Okay, this is the time of the truth. Will my code work? It does work. My code does work. As you can see, they have the cards right there. Why don't I want the cards to actually be in their hand? Because I don't want to animate that. I'm going to, however, animate them interacting with the game. And maybe sometimes I will animate them actually holding the cards. I need to check how easy it is to do that. But then we're not animating the,
Are you
the
sure
game
you
anymore.
know
We're
how to
animating.
count cards?
Hello,
Well,
Mist.
we don't know how to count cards. To animate the player actually touching the cards, we need to use another system. So that's something I'm going to try to work another day. But for the troubleshoot and debugging of the game itself to work, we just needed that. And as you can see, the opponent is actually holding real cards. and each card has a code, which means that I can actually work on everything for the game at this point. I can try to use the average value, so the cards are always in the middle. Like, right now, if they keep adding cards to the hand, eventually they will just move to infinity. We can try to make the average or the value the same way I did it to the player. Let me show you. If I just keep buying cards non-stop, eventually the cards will be right here in the middle. So the more cards I get in my hand, the smaller my hand gets. So that's something I can add to the opponent. But it's not necessary to add that to test the gameplay. This is the first Ivory stream I actually watched. I don't know if I feel flattered for you to say my stream today was good, or if I feel offended for you to tell me that all my streams before that were not enough for you. Anyway, thank you for watching. You know what, for the sake of our friendship, I will feel flattered, alright? I will treat this as a compliment. So, thank you for watching. If indeed you still are.
First stream I've watched
Don't
in
leave.
a bit.
I just finished.
What happened to my gay voice?
Wait, what?
This is the first Ivory stream I've actually watched. The more cards you have, the more gay you turn.
Wait. Don't leave.
I'm sorry, Mist.
What?
I just finished.
I just
the feature
haven't
I
had
was
time
planning
to
to
watch
finish this
previous
stream.
streams, but I do want to watch more streams.
I will stream again
No.
tomorrow, but tomorrow
I
I
just
will work
got
on
here.
animation. Don't worry, I will work on animation tomorrow. Today I finished the feature for the game I was planning on doing. And now I'm going to work on more. I'm going to work more on the logic of the game. So probably the day after tomorrow, we'll be working on some cards. Thank you for watching, if indeed you still are. What hour tomorrow? Exactly. I don't even know your time zone. Give you yaoi before we leave. How you? I know how. You want the yaoi, right? Canonically, this is Steve, and that's Steve. They are roommates. There, yaoi. Are you happy? I gave you the yaoi. It's going to be 10 hours from now? Wait, I don't know. 22 hours from now. 21 hours from now. I'm going to stream tomorrow anyway. Give your time zone. I am in the Brazilian Standard Time. 10 a.m. in the Brazilian Standard Time. Make it canon in the game. You know all Steves are me, right? You know I cannot... I don't like the idea of self-test. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.